Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. Coming up this week, the tragic shooting in Las Vegas claims 59 lives, including one Disneyland cast member. The Disney Dream sustains damage during a recent sailing, and we are going to talk about some of the events coming up in the next year from D23. Also, we have shipped Steve Porter out to the middle of a lake, and he will join us a little later on, along with Will Perry, who's in town. And Epcot celebrates its 35th anniversary, and we will tell you all about the festivities. All that coming up next. From the Bob Varley Studio in Orlando, Florida, this is the Diz Unplugged. This is the Diz Unplugged, episode 960, for the week of October 3rd, 2017. The Diz Unplugged is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel, experts at helping you plan the perfect Disney vacation. Will you knock it off? Visit them on the web at www.dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the show, coming to you live from the Bob Varley Studio in Orlando, Florida. I'm your host, Pete Werner, joined at the table this week by my good friends, John Magi.
Hi, everybody.
Kevin Close.
Hello, everyone.
Teresa Eccles.
Hey.
Corey Martin.
I'm just happy to be here.
And back in the production nook, our producer, Mr. Craig Williams.
Hello.
And associate producer, Mr. Rhino Clavin.
Hello.
Or Ms. Rhino Clavin.
Ms.
Actually.
Thank you, Ms.
Ms.
We so Gloria Steinem.
Well, welcome to the show, everyone. First, I want to apologize that we did not have a show last week. There was illness in my home, and I did not want to expose the team to potential malaria.
Did you have the house saged?
No, Lysol.
Tented. Sprayed.
So, thanks everybody for your well wishes, but we're back to normal as we can be given the horrifying events in Las Vegas yesterday. So, we just want to offer our thoughts and prayers to everyone. 59 people
So far.
murdered, over 500, almost 600 injured. Worst mass shooting in U.S. history. And we're going to talk a little bit about it in a little bit, but just before we get to that, just wanted to go ahead and offer our condolences and thoughts to all of those who lost their lives and were injured and their families. We also want to remind everybody about, on a more positive note, Give Kids the World. And this incredible fundraiser they are doing right now, where you have a chance to spend a night in the Cinderella Suite in the Magic Kingdom. This is being done through Omaze, omaze.com. That's OMAZE.com. And just sign up, and you are automatically entered in the raffle. But in order to raise money, they are selling more chances through raffle tickets. So you can buy raffle tickets. All of that money goes to Give Kids the World, to help them in their mission of making a week at Disney a reality for a child with a life-threatening illness and their families. And from what I understand, I don't have any details. We're not doing this we're just helping them promote it. From what I understand, it's going very well. But this is going to run until October 13th, and I believe October 16th is when they're going to announce the winner. So head over to omaze.com, OMAZE.com, and help raise money for an amazing charity, the best-run charity in the United States. 95 cents out of every dollar goes to the mission. Only 5 cents is used for administrative and fundraising costs. So, awesome organization. And there's something else I wanted to mention about that. Oh, yeah, that's right. What we're doing to help promote this, any of our listeners that donate $1,500 or more during this fundraising campaign, we will take you to dinner. We just had dinner Friday night with one of our listeners who donated. Just make the donation and go ahead and send us the receipt. Since we're not doing this, we don't have access to who donates and who doesn't. So just send us your receipt showing that you've donated $1,500 or more, podcast@disunplug.com, and we will take you to dinner. And we had a fun night.
We did.
We had a
It
real
was great.
fun night.
Where'd you go?
We went to Morimoto, Asia. And I wanted to say a special thank you to Rob Memory, who was very generous with his donation. And we had a really great dinner with him. We got a couple other people that have done it. that we're scheduling dinners with, and I am happy to do as many of those as there are people that want to donate to Give Kids the World. Least we can do. But we had a really fun night that night.
It was fun.
I don't know. Y'all picked on me a bit much, I think.
But that's typical.
Well, you showed up late. And I love that this guy, Rob, just like jumped right in. I mean, he
Nice of you to join us or something like that, right?
Yeah, wow.
So, no, we had a good time. And dinner was amazing. I mean,
I love Morimoto.
I love Marmot.
you see, the only time I ate there, the one time I ate there, I wasn't impressed. But this time, I got to say, it was really good. So,
Did you have the ribs?
yes, of
yeah.
course. Yeah, the ribs were, and then the duck. The duck was out of this world. Out of this
Fan
world.
of duck.
Well, it's a dish for two, so Corey and I split it, which means I had about two
I was
pieces.
just going to say, and you had nothing.
You got to smell it.
So, the other thing I want to just remind everybody about all the other shows that we do. I'm not going to list them off. They're disunplug.com. You can find all the different shows that we produce each week. But I do want to highlight one show in particular that we did recently that I absolutely love doing, and that we're getting a lot of really great feedback on. That was our interview with Don Ballard, who literally wrote the book on the history of the Disneyland Hotel. The absolutely fascinating conversation, if I do say so myself, with him. This guy has just so much knowledge, and he's so passionate about the Disneyland Hotel. Works very closely with the Rather family. The Rather family was the original owners of the Disneyland Hotel before they sold it to Disney in the 90s. So a lot of great information, a lot of great stories. So we'll make
He's
sure.
a really good guy.
He's a great guy. Absolutely great guy. And so we'll have a link to it in our show notes today, disunplugged.com. And I just want to make special mention of the fact that yesterday was 16 years that Mr. Corey Martin has been with us. And tomorrow is 13 years that Mr. Kevin Close has been with us.
Wow.
And
I was a baby.
talk about two people who have made an incredible impact on what we've done.
It's been fun.
Yeah.
The journey is,
Been amazing.
it's been awesome. I love it.
It's been amazing. And so
I didn't have this gray hair yesterday.
I gave you that. That I will take ownership. I will take ownership of the gray. But until he starts coloring, I haven't done enough. So I have to keep laying it on until he has a
I'm
color.
going to embrace it.
And Kevin hasn't aged a day in 13 years.
I'll pull your neck back. You pull my neck back.
Hold my neck.
So, all right. Anything else in housekeeping? No one? Anything? Wow.
Are
Okay.
you going to mention Corey's other accomplishment coming up?
I don't know if he wants me to.
What? We
Yeah, I
already
might
talked
as well.
about the gray.
This Saturday, October 7th, another milestone for Mr. Martin. He will turn 40 years old. So I want everybody to blow him up on Twitter and on Facebook on Saturday.
I'm just happy to age here, like in front of everybody, before your eyes. It's
I'm just happy to age here. I want that on a T-shirt. I want that on a T-shirt. Happy to age anywhere.
Like cheese.
Fine wine.
oh man,
Now, in your case, it would be wine. But,
it would absolutely.
So, yeah.
Just one little thing I forgot to say before. I just want to say thank you to Sorcerer Heidi from the Diz board. She has sent me a letter that I have not. I have the letter, and I am writing you a letter specifically in return. I'm just collecting my thoughts and taking. It's a very long, very nice letter, very thoughtful. She's a very thoughtful person who always says very positive things out there. So I just want to say thank you very much for that. And I am writing one in return, so don't think I've forgotten about you.
You should tell that story at dinners.
I don't want to go into specifics what it's about.
I'd like to thank Florida Power and Light. Send me a bill. I'm sending you a check.
Do you not get much mail?
It's not much.
Well,
that
first of
isn't
all, is this
student
like
loans.
1980? Was it in letters?
She wrote me a letter. I'm going to write her
she's
a
actually
letter.
really, really sweet. She's a big supporter of ours on the boards. We're very
I'm not
appreciative
picking
of
on her.
No.
No, we're not making fun of Heidi. We're making fun of you.
I did
I
have
got
to write a letter
I'm
recently.
writing a letter.
I just
Yeah.
bought stamps if you need a stamp.
Well, I
Tell that
actually
story.
might. I don't know how to get them anymore.
All right. If there's nothing else for housekeeping, let's throw it over to our first awful news story.
That's absolutely right. Tragic shooting in Las Vegas claimed the life of a Disneyland cast member. On Sunday, October 2nd, 2017, 59 people were killed and at least 527 were injured when a man opened fire on a crowd from his hotel room on the 32nd floor of the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada. The crowd was at an outdoor country music concert. Bob Iger confirmed in a tweet Monday evening that Carrie Barnett, a cast member of the Disney California Adventure culinary team, has been identified as one of the 59 killed in the shooting. His tweet read, quote, "A senseless, horrific act and a terrible loss for so many. We mourn a wonderful member of the Disney family, Carrie Barnett. Tragic." According to a statement issued, another Disney cast member, Jessica Malam, was also injured in the attack. The statement reads, quote, Our hearts go out to everyone impacted by the tragic events in Las Vegas, the victims of violence, the witnesses, the friends and families mourning loved ones. We're especially heartbroken over the loss of one of our own to this unconscionable and senseless act. Carrie Barnett had been a member of the Disney California Adventure culinary team for 10 years and was beloved by her friends and colleagues. Our thoughts are with her family, along with our support during this incredibly difficult time. Another valued Disney cast member, Jessica Malam, was also seriously injured, and we are praying for her recovery. Sad.
Very sad.
How sad.
And, 2 years ago, of course, it was the Pulse shooting. Was the worst mass murder in U.S. history. And now it's this. And, I get why, I get why people offer their thoughts and prayers. But thoughts and prayers aren't going to fix this. It's just not going to fix it.
And
I don't know what will. But you know what? I'm sorry. And it's going to piss people off, and I don't give a crap. Unfettered access to guns, yeah, that's probably got to stop. If I need a license to drive a car, I should probably need a license to own a gun. And don't give me the constitutional BS argument. Okay? Read what the Constitution actually says. Well-armed militia.
And that was written when guns held a bullet.
Yeah. And this guy was able to kill 59 people and injure 500 in a matter of minutes because he had these assault weapons.
And you know what we're talking about now? Changing hotel security.
Yeah.
Is there a greater example of missing the point?
Or now outdoor concerts will now start looking at line of sight things. So that's
again,
the response.
Missing the point.
And don't even start with this isn't the time. Yes, it is the time. It's absolutely the time. It's always the time. It's always the time. This is...
Yeah, but we thought the time was after someone went in and killed kids in Sandy Hook.
Sandy Hook, and then we thought the time was after Pulse, and we thought the time was in Columbine. But it's never the time, and it's never going to change. But I don't want to go too much into it other than to say it's an awful tragedy. Something's got to change. Something's got to change.
And I don't want to minimize this in the least. This is absolutely not my intention here, but it just seems between the hurricanes in Puerto Rico and this, it's just been so sad. Like the news has just been so tragic and so sad. It's like you can't look anymore. You can't watch what's going on anymore.
No, absolutely. So, our thoughts and prayers do go out to these people, but that's not enough.
Couldn't even imagine.
It's not enough.
And with Pulse and with this, I mean, for me personally, waking up to this news, and it's not, usually you wake up to the weather and some sort of political things, but waking up to these mass shootings, it's just your whole day or weeks and months are ruined.
I read something horrible that said that the number will probably go up because many of those that are injured are severely
or gravely injured. Yeah.
So. Those are the people that get my thoughts and prayers.
All right, moving on to our second news story. Kind of sad. Disney Dream damaged after hitting pier. According to the Disney Cruise Line blog, the Disney Dream was damaged while arriving in Nassau last week. The ship collided with the pier, causing a small dent. The damage appears to be superficial as the hull of the ship wasn't breached. Okay, when you see this picture, that to me doesn't say small dent.
No, it doesn't.
Did you run up on deck and throw your necklace overboard?
I did. Rose.
But that's it actually is. It's not. It's a superficial. There's no structural damage to the ship.
Still looks
it's
big
a fender bender.
But I'm surprised. Like, how did that happen? That it ran into the pier. I mean,
I'll say this: like, I would rather sail on a damaged Disney cruise ship than sail on a new Carnival ship.
Oh, yeah.
Damn.
Wow.
Is that hate
Corey,
speech? What?
At www.info.com.
I love Carnival.
There's 2 I's in info.
I know
the
some of the ports have pilots they bring out to bring the ships in. Is this one of them that
Yes,
does it?
Port Canaveral does as well. However, I think there's also unknowns.
Wait, this
There's
isn't Port Canaveral. This is.
Nassau does as
Nassau.
well. But I think you have unknowns. You have tide, you have wind, and also the angle that the ship, they want that ship to go up and just kiss the dock on the side. If the thing's on a slight bit of an angle, it could easily do damage.
Yeah, but how fast do you have to be going
No, I don't think fast at all.
to do that?
You got the
That's a-
weight behind it.
Right, there's
pushing
so
it,
much
yeah.
weight behind it. We watched a really interesting thing about the new Viking ship, actually the one we're going to be going on in March. And they were doing a fjords cruise up into Norway in that area. And they came upon one dock where they said if the boat was off by 1 degree, the corner of the dock would have punctured the ship. That's how delicate docking the boat was at this one dock, because the dock was a right angle. So I think this stuff can happen. According to passengers, crews were already preparing to repaint the area the day of the incident. And in the latest update, the work to repair the damage continued Sunday while the ship was at Castaway Cay. The Disney Dream was on a 3-day cruise, and the incident did not result in any changes to the itinerary, as reported by Disney.
They're just going to
Cruise Line.
paint over this?
No, they can't.
They're going to have to
But
get
it's
their
not
hammers
like
out
a-
and bang it out
It's
a
not like
little
a
bit.
fender bender where you can like take it out with a blow dryer.
Yeah, I don't know.
I've done that before. That's what I'm saying. But you can. I mean, there's not a bunch of crew members out there pushing and all.
Was
push
this on
all-
your big wheel?
It was on my Mazda 6.
Corey's cars are made out of weave, apparently.
The hair dryer.
Yeah, really.
You need to teach Grace that.
I
No, I
will-
don't even
I will
want to.
show
Never
you.
mind her. Grace doesn't need to know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm interested to know how this happened. You know,
Can you see Corey in his driveway blow drying his car?
I've done it. People judge me.
We are.
Sure they do.
so
Oh my.
All right. Our third and final news story. D23 2018 events announced. Da, da, da. In 2018, D23, the official Disney fan club, brings a new roster of events for fans around the country to enjoy. What's the matter? Why are you all looking at the screen behind me?
Because I'm not quite sure what the picture is.
Oh,
What are we looking at?
Preparing for rain.
It's Mick Mouse.
Mick Mouse. Gets in your spaceship, Mick Mouse.
it's McMouse.
He's powering his boat with his bicycle with implements on the tire.
There's kitchen utensils in the back of the tire. I'm not. I was this done by Dali or?
really?
This is new Mickey Mouse.
All right. There's going to be a Destination D. Happy
He looks.
birthday,
He looks
Mickey.
evil.
He's a little angry.
Okay.
On November 18th, 2018, will mark 90 years since Mickey Mouse made his debut in Steamboat Willie at the Colony Theater in New York.
So he's old and cranky.
And D23 is throwing a party at Disney's Contemporary Resort at the Walt Disney World to celebrate. The event will include panels, presentations, an all-new exhibit from the Walt Disney Archives, a pop-up store from Walt Disney Imagineering, Mickey's of Glendale, and more. Additional details, including special hotel rates and ticketing information, will be announced in the months to come. So this is the big Destination D that they usually throw here. Are you guys impressed by this?
Destination D actually is a
Pretty
pretty
good.
cool
Yeah.
event overall because it takes, I mean, it is for the ultimate Disney nerds, where D23 Expo, because it covers the movies and a lot of people come to do cosplay and buy merch, it's a little bit broader, but Destination D really focuses in on a one subject and goes into more detail than the average fan would ever care about. So, like last time around, it was kind of like adventures all around the world, and Adventureland was the theme. The year before that, it was the 64 World's Fair, and then past attractions. And so I'm sure it'll be just as interesting with Mickey Mouse. And it's all the seats are already reserved when you get your ticket, so it's not the the nonsense of D23 Expo having to stand out overnight trying to get in. Yeah, it's a one and done event. It's so simple, and it's they put on a really good thing for it. But that's just the tip of the iceberg with what D23 is announcing for 2018. The big thing is member tours to Pixar, which it's the first time they're ever doing that.
Wow.
And that's I would kill to be on that tour and be able to go see Pixar.
Another event that they're going to be doing is the Return to Marceline. In 2012, D23 members journeyed to Marceline, Missouri, where Walt Disney spent his early childhood. So you'll be able to do a tour. This is the second time they're doing this. You'll like to see
That's
Walt
fun.
Disney's hometown museum and stroll down Marceline's own Main Street.
I've been there. That's pretty awesome.
Is it really?
It is. And there's
There's
a
things you're trying to trick me into doing something and by telling me it's
no.
awesome.
There's a woman in the museum there that was a child when Walt came back to his hometown as an adult, and he stayed in her home and slept in her bedroom. Of course, she moved out, but it was the only house that had air conditioning, so that's why Walt stayed. And she tells this story. It's very interesting. Pictures of Walt in her house, and I don't know. I found it moving. The tree and all the other. I mean, it's not
Walt's
like
tree.
it's not like 2 days worth of events.
You
You,
should
know.
sit next to Rhino at that dinner party.
I know we will. I enjoyed it, and
so
I think
waiting
it's.
for the
I think it's a
interesting part.
little. It's a little
was a
touch of.
tree.
I must keep talking. It's a little touch of Disney in the middle of the Midwest. You know.
Well,
I think
she
that's
said
cool.
when she stayed in her room.
Huh?
A little touch of Disney.
It is. The guy in the plaid shirt got that one. Oh, look at him joyfully laughing over there.
There's going to be Pixar in the parks. D23 kicks off a trio of thrilling events with Walt Disney World Parks and Resorts in April.
You said a tree? Oh,
Trio.
ahead. Keep going.
When members will be invited to celebrate the 20th anniversary of Disney's Animal Kingdom with in-park experiences, culinary delights, and surprises. Next summer, D23 will invite guests to shrink to the size of Woody and Buzz Lightyear with Toy Story Land when Toy Story Land opens at Disney's Hollywood Studios. So those are some in-park events. They're going to do some advanced screenings for D23 members. They're going to do D23's Spectacular Disney Faniversary. How many more weird things can you put in one sentence? From the spooky to the kooky. Two beloved films.
Did you write that?
No, I'm reading this word for word off of their weirdness. Celebrating silver anniversaries in 2018, Hocus Pocus and Tim Burton's A Nightmare Before Christmas. 1993, Hocus Pocus introduces us to the Sanderson sisters. Blah, 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 blah. I'm trying to get to the meat of this. Next fall, D23 members will enjoy a cauldron full of new features. Oh my God, this is tortured. As well as special screening events on the Disney Studio lot and around the United States.
Well, that's, one of my big complaints with D23 from the beginning was that if you weren't on the West Coast, there wasn't anything for you. And I will say, as I read through this, there were a lot of things showing up here in Orlando.
Yes.
And then things that they're doing around the country. So it seems like they got that message. Now, I've maintained my membership. I'm still a member.
Do you go to anything else besides the big thing?
No. But no, I've been to like one or two things. It's like Craig was saying, Destination D is pretty cool. It is absolutely Geek Fest. I mean, this is not for the casual visitor. This is for hardcore fans. But if you're a hardcore fan, there's a lot there to love.
I'm sorry, I missed the 1964 World's Fair one.
Yeah. So there. So I'm especially after being at the D23 conference convention out in California back in July. I'm feeling a lot better. I feel a lot better about D23. Especially when I see that they're doing a lot of things. Plus, if you are out in California, or if you want to go out to California and you're a member, some of those, Lunch with the Disney Legend, the studio tours they do. They're talking about the Pixar studio tours now,
And just what they did with the Epcot 35th, with the anniversary event, which I think was it looked pretty awesome.
Yeah, no, it really was. I've done a lot. Like I've done D23 movie screenings before, and they always purposely give out less seats than the theater has, so that way you just basically get to walk in and sit wherever you want and get that free screening of a movie early. I did the studio tour lot, Walt Disney Studio Tour, with Michael a couple years back, and that was fantastic. They gave away little trinkets and free pins and stuff for it. So they do a lot of cool stuff. It does require some travel sometimes, but I think between the magazine you get and then the events, the kind of geekiness, insider knowledge that they give you, it's worth that, because they also don't really broadcast this stuff after it's said. Like the stuff we saw for Faniversary, we asked if there'd be B-roll for it, and they said no. It's for the people who were in the room getting to hear it that time, and then it's our job to kind of put out those little bit of tidbits here and there when we can. So it's very cool, exclusive stuff.
What's a membership cost now?
I'm not sure.
It's around $80 or so.
So not horrible.
Yeah.
And you get, they put out a quarterly magazine, which is a really nice, I mean, it's like coffee table quality magazine.
Yeah.
So, and like you said, you get access to a lot of these different events and things like that. But I think it's, in the beginning, I thought it was terrible.
It's evolved.
It has definitely evolved. It's definitely evolved. I'm not so hateful toward D23 anymore. Still not like madly in love with it, but now that I'm seeing more of these events happening out here, and because the whole attitude was only Disney fans only are in Southern California, and it's like, no, there's this big thing on the other side of the country. Maybe you want to do something out here. They started doing the Destination Ds, which has been good, but now we're seeing more of these in-park things.
I was a member the first year, and I let it lapse because I didn't think there was anything.
There was anything, exactly. I
First
think,
year.
well, that's what they realized, that, so
Stick it out.
Some more stuff all over throughout the
So,
country,
some
which
good
is
stuff.
really nice. So good for them.
good stuff coming up.
All right, so that'll do it for the news.
All right, thank you, John. Before we move on to rapid fire, Will Perry, our creative director, and Steve Porter, our editor,
Our first mate.
our first mate.
We got some
They are.
semen on this show today.
Oh, really?
I went there.
Really?
You've been holding that one.
Which one's Ginger?
They are on a they're on a
producer,
little
Ginger.
water mice. You're on a water mouse, right? Out in the middle of
Yep,
Bay Lake?
We're on a sea racer, or better known as a mouse boat, out on 17th Lagoon.
Okay, is your microphone all the way over by Will?
What?
What?
What did you say?
I said we couldn't hear you too well, so I wasn't sure.
Okay, yeah, I'll hold the mic a little bit closer. It's a little windy out here.
So what are you doing?
We are just putting around on 17th Lagoon. It's a just fun option on a Walt Disney World vacation. We give you some pricing and some options, but basically we are on one of the mouse boats, like we said, for $45 for an hour. You can go on one of these, and then there's a couple different options. There's also a Boston Whaler and then a pontoon boat.
I'm getting
They
nauseous
are-
just watching you.
What'd you say?
Blair
Have y'all found the anchor yet?
They're getting seasick watching.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, we're getting a little seasick, too. Will went over some waves and spilled water all onto our laps.
Don't blame me.
Yeah, it happened.
It's not NASCAR, Will. Who made the picnic lunch?
Wow. Try and turn the boat so the wind is somewhere else.
Go up to the docks and tell people you're the friendship boat.
Somewhere else. I don't know.
Have people get on your little water miles to go over to the Magic Kingdom.
All right, yeah. That's,
Cover your microphone, Steve, for the love of God.
Yeah,
Put it in
there's
your
the-
hand.
How's that?
Put it in your hand.
Hear us?
Cup it.
All right, this isn't working.
really.
It was a brave effort, but it's not working. So enjoy the rest of your day, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh. Okay.
He doesn't know how to use the microphone.
Here's
thing.
just the genesis of this. I said to Steve a couple weeks ago, start thinking of some different things to do rather than just be in the park. Let's think of some different things to do. So he came up with this, and I thought it was a good idea to try it. But it's
On a
windy.
windy day, yeah.
It's a windy day, and we're getting all that wind noise, and he's just using the headset from his iPhone, and that's not really good in the wind.
Put him on that balloon at Disney Springs.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Oh, that's I've done that. I don't like that
Mission space.
Then you have to do it with
Do
him.
mission space.
because it's like this big ring, and anytime some people come near you, they think tips.
Sounds like a nightmare.
I'm constantly screaming at everybody to stay on the other side.
Don't touch me.
Right? Distribute your weight. Distribute your weight. Get away from me. It was terrifying.
So you went up with Walter, right?
Yeah, it was terrifying. I'd do it again though. Maybe
was
someone else
nice
it would
the
be so
time I
bad.
did it.
So we're not going to see you guys. I think. Are you on the show next week?
We are not.
So we're not going to see you for like a month.
How exciting!
I know, we're
that
really
you're going to
excited.
China.
We're going to Japan and China. We see all the
You're
Asian
going to
Disney
be able
parks.
to say at the end of this that we've done them all.
That's right.
Every single park.
That's right.
How many
And
weeks do we get without you?
I'm sad. I'm sad that I had to cancel. That I'm not going with you. But there are things at the house that need taking care of after Irma, and I can't.
I understand.
You know.
I completely understand.
And then there are things that are now happening at the house that have nothing to do with Irma. That it's turning into a money pit. It's like kind of crazy. But,
Every house you have is a money pit. Whenever you own a house.
but
it's-
I love the house, so you know. They like I say, they will pull my cold dead body out of this house. I love this house. So, you know, but it is what
so
it
we're
is.
excited. What we're going to try to do is we're going to try to tweet and post on Facebook. So
Not in China, you're not.
Facebook.
yes, on the Dreams Unlimited Travel Facebook page.
And the Dreams Unlimited Travel
Twitter account, right? Follow both of those. We think we can do it, but if we can't, we've set up a little system where we should be able to get the information back to folks here,
Okay.
so that they can post for us. So watch both at Dreams You Travel is our Twitter account, and I don't know, Facebook.
It's Dreams Unlimited Travel.
There's something I don't know what you do on Facebook.
And
I don't know how it works.
if you're looking at our
Okay, Al.
schedule, we are going to be in Japan for a couple of days, Hong Kong for a couple of days, Beijing, and then Shanghai. And then we come home.
I'm just going to throw it out there. If you can't get tweets or emails out, just send a letter to Rhino.
Yeah. Write a
He
nice
will.
handwritten note.
That's right. And 2 weeks from now, he'll write that he opened it and read it.
I had a pen pal when I was a kid.
And look what happened. So,
Yeah, so we're excited. We're very, very excited. We're also a little bit nervous. It's so foreign and it's so different from us. We've been to Europe many times. We've been many places all over the world. But this just feels so foreign to us that we're not really sure what to expect or how it's going to go.
And the money has freaked me out. Because I have things that have like 50,000 on them.
yeah, we have
Yeah.
I don't know, like 100,000
Yen.
yen. It's crazy. And it's like, oh, look, it's $12.
Will you be purchasing kimonos?
Where will I be purchasing a kimono?
We've already bought
Will you?
ours.
I'm taking mine with me.
We are bringing ours with us.
And those shoes with the little wooden things on them.
I want a photo of Kevin.
Shoes with the little wooden things on.
all right.
All right. Exciting.
All right. So let's go ahead and move over to Rapid Fire. And we'll start with you, John.
All right, there's a new Disney Cruise Line offer out there. You get a $100 shipboard credit when you book an eligible sailing February 3rd, 17th, March 3rd, March 17th, and 31st. And 2018 Western Caribbean sailings. Oh, those are the Western Caribbean sailings. And then February 10th, 24th, March 10th, 24th for Eastern Caribbean sailings. Some of these also include the Star Wars Day at Sea, so that's a nice little perk out there. The caveat is this only applies to new bookings, and it has to be booked between October 1st and October 31st, 2017. Unheard of in a very, very long time that Disney has released a discount like this. It's not
Thanks, Irma.
tremendous, right?
And I was just going to say, those Eastern sailings,
Yeah.
I would just, if you're going to book it, I would be prepared that it's going to be a Western.
Yeah.
And part of my rapid fire is also that the November 22nd and December 2nd Eastern sailings on the Fantasy are now Western sailings. So yeah, there's a very good possibility that none of these will be Eastern for a long time because of the damage to those ports of call. But also, if you book these with Dreams Unlimited Travel, you can also combine it with our shipboard credit. So get extra money for spending on board.
Awesome. Thank you, John. Kevin.
I'm going to talk about a different kind of cruise. Our Viking Ocean Cruise going around Italy, March 24th through March 31st, is still available. If you're looking to go with us, this is the perfect time. I just need to let everybody know that final payment is at the end of December. So it's coming up. We're going to have to start making our final payments and things like that. But there's still space available. So if you're interested in joining us, let me know.
So excited about that trip.
It's gonna
Me
be so much
too.
fun. Again, earlier I was mentioning we saw a documentary or something.
It's on the National Geographic channel, I believe.
And it's about the mega ships or something like that. And they featured the sister ship. They did the Viking Sea, and we're on the Sky. You have to try to find it.
It's available on iTunes.
Yeah. So it's like incredible. That ship is so beautiful.
And the itinerary they took was up into Norway into the fjords, and they crossed the Arctic Circle. We actually watched it more to see the ship. The ship looks stunning. So, really
Awesome.
excited.
All right. Thank you, Kevin. Teresa.
All right, on the other end of the spectrum, Twistee Treat is now open in Port
Oh,
Canaveral.
Lord. Okay. You are now forbidden
That's right. Now
from
that
talking about that
It's
on the
open.
show again.
It's people
There
want-
are
people
legitimate.
care.
No,
People
hold, stop. There are legitimate rapid fires that you could have brought. Twistee Treat, whatever the hell it is not anything anybody cares about.
Look.
Enough. I'm done hearing about it.
Wait, if you're going on a cruise and you want good ice cream,
Get it on the
before-
damn ship. It's free. What do you keep talking about this
It's
place
open.
for?
We're all excited
Woman,
in Port
move-
Canaveral.
Move on.
Okay, it's open. I'm good with it.
Move on
Did
from
you see her
Twistee Treat.
Twitter when she tweeted out what she got in the ice
People
cream?
loved it.
People
There
loved
are-
it.
Well, none of those people are in this room.
She got
She's a cult.
she got a like.
I got a like.
Oh,
God in heaven with the
crazy.
Twistee Treat. We
It's
have
open.
legitimate rapid fires that could have been talked about.
It's open.
That isn't one of them. All right, thank you. Corey, you have
Okay.
something better than that?
Yeah, well,
10:30 every night.
hopefully. As part of the D23 anniversary event, they announced they announced a bunch of stuff and revealed a lot of stuff. But one kind of stuck to me. It was they kind of showed you a written or a typed. The meaning of the Epcot logo is written by Marty Sklar, and I think it's just so appropriate right now. And I'm actually wearing the T-shirt. The Epcot Center logo symbolizes unity, fellowship, and harmony around the world. The 5 outer rings are linked to form the shape of a flower, a celebration of life. The heart of the logo is Earth, embraced by a star symbolizing hope, the hope that with imagination, commitment, and dedication, we can create a better tomorrow. I have always been a fan of this classic logo. You got the shirt? This came
It
from
is. That's an
this came from
amazing logo.
Imagineering in Mickey's of Glendale, but I think I'm wearing it out at this point. I'm gonna have to retire it soon. But I thought it was just great reading that. When Marty Sklar describes anything, he does it with passion and like a true meaning, and I just thought it was a great takeaway from that.
Absolutely. And we're going to talk a little bit more about
Yep.
the 35th anniversary and what they did for it in just a little bit. But thank you for that, Corey. Craig.
Okay, so on Friday, Rhino and I were very surprised to see that Baseline Tap House is finally open at Disney's Hollywood Studios. So if you've forgotten what Baseline Tap House is, it is the brand new bar that took over the Writer's Stop right next to Sci-Fi Dine-In, and it's a part of what is now considered Grand Avenue, and then Muppets Courtyard has been turned into Grand Park. So it's all essentially going to be the waiting area, the staging area for where you're going to go in through into Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. But as far as Baseline Tap House goes, it was actually a really nice, well done area. It feels like classic. I know it's just a bar, but it feels like they went back to classic Disney roots with it. They took the time to actually come up with a backstory for the entire bar itself, which is something that kind of went by the wayside for a while. The stories were a bit of a stretch, but for this one, it takes place in Figueroa Printing Company, which was at one point in time in the 50s worked with Disney to help create graphic designs for the parks. So they have kind of the stages inside of how Disneyland posters were put together and the steps of that, and then they went by the wayside after years, and now it's been turned into a craft brew bar that also offers cocktails on tap, wine, non-alcoholic drinks, And then
Yeah, I thought that was nice too.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
they have. There's like two that are. So it's not just the same old Coke products. So it was nice that they had something different for
Yeah,
people.
it was like a black cherry soda on tap, and then one, I forget what the other one was.
yeah,
a strawberry.
something.
Yeah.
like lemonade, I think, or something.
But overall, it was just an absolute beautiful area. The patio's big, and there's great people watching as everyone's kind of strolling along by to get back by the Muppets and leaving Star Tours and Sci-Fi. A great selection for beer fans if you're looking for the best beer you can get on Disney property. I can say now,
Really?
go here.
Yeah.
This is
Would you say over? I mean, it's not a theme park, but like in the Grand Floridian, the outside pool bar has a pretty good selection of craft beers. Would you?
On tap always is going to beat out of a bottle for me, and this has 9 different California beers, some average like Sierra Nevada and Lagunitas that you can get anywhere, but others that you can't get readily available on tap all the time.
It felt like the place feels like this is our first kind of touch of like the care they put into like those little places at Disneyland. It had that kind of same kind of feeling
really?
to
Yeah.
it here. Yeah. So even if you're not a drinker or anything like that, like you said, there's the non-alcoholic drinks. It's still like a really beautiful spot that they kind of have set aside in this corner that you can kind of just get out and just relax. And they've got like 3 appetizers there. You can get the big pretzel, the
spiced nuts and charcuterie board. I know
board,
you
yeah.
can't say that.
I don't like to say it.
Really, it's like a lobster nacho away from becoming like a Cove bar.
Yeah.
Like,
Really?
It's like some place that people are going to want.
So if they
to
come up with
constantly
that, if
camp
they
out
come
at.
up with that signature dish,
I think that's the thing they're missing. I think that's the one thing that will really put it like over the edge. Yeah.
If you're looking for us in Hollywood studios for the next year to
We'll be
come,
there.
I think you can kind of pinpoint where we're going to be.
just stalk this place and you'll end up.
Well, I would say we probably met at least
Oh, we met a
15
lot of
people
people,
there
yeah.
on Friday just while we were
That's
trying
funny.
to do the fix
Drinking.
and check it out. But yeah, it's great. I love what they did with Grand Avenue.
If it's researching.
It's they took this LA style and they crammed it in the park, and it's really well done.
Let's check it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, thank you, Craig. Rhino.
Mine's not as interesting. It's about Stitch's Great Escape. It's got some new signage now that apparently is saying Stitch's Alien Encounter character greeting. So there's no real confirmation whether the attraction itself may be closing and turned into a character meet and greet. That's kind of what it looks like might be happening. A little throwback to the attraction that was there before with Alien Encounter written on here. But it's just... Nobody really knows what's happening
Well,
right now.
Lord
but-
knows Stitch is more popular than that attraction is. So,
yeah.
that might be that may end up being a good use of that space, at least for the time being. So
It's still a cool, like, because at the Halloween party they keep it, that's like a trick or treat area, so it's still like a cool, like if as they keep it all themed like that with the robots and the other aliens and the tubes, like as you walk through, that would be kind of cool for a cool meet and greet thing. But yeah,
I'm not sure if it's true. Michael told me a tidbit last night when we were talking about Tomorrowland. He said that guest satisfaction reports were coming back lower when Stitch was opened, more than it more than it is when it's not closed. So people, they would
The
go on Stitch,
attraction.
hate it, rate it terribly. If they're not going on it at all, they're happy. So
Oh.
It's
that
just a
shows how
confusing
good it is.
attraction. I mean, you can follow the storyline, but it just looked like it was just pieced together. That's
It
why
was.
it's not popular.
it was.
Well,
Well,
you
it
think
wasn't.
it's
It
gonna
wasn't
be-
popular as Alien Encounter either.
You think it's going to be awesome, and then you're just sitting there
Smelling chili dogs.
smelling chili dogs, and something's pushing on your shoulders. It's like, oh, I was wanting something more out of it. Sorry.
So, all right. Thank you, Rhino. We were mentioning before about Epcot's 35th anniversary, which took place officially yesterday, right?
Sunday.
Or Sunday. Sunday.
Yeah.
And Corey and Craig were there to cover that for us, and they're going to tell us a little bit more about what went on. So I'll turn it over to you guys.
Well, we were invited as media to go there, check in, start at 8:00. So it was an early day, but with every sort of event they have like the themed maps they have the themed buttons, and of course they have the themed merchandise. That I think for the majority of the people were there for the merchandise because after the main ceremony they did. You need to learn how to make a paper airplane. He tried to throw me.
He's trying to give you the map that has all the 35th.
I mean, I saw the pictures of the merchandise line was like to the turnstiles.
Yeah, it was
People
crazy.
bring their merchandise. That's crazy.
So this kind of the look.
And wasn't some of that stuff available online anyway?
Yeah, you
Like
had
ahead
the
of
ability to purchase I Was There merchandise ahead of time, so that way you didn't have to wait in the line for it. But
but they said that you wouldn't be able to do that in their announcement, that you were only going to be able to get it that day.
I could have sworn I saw it on there.
That was something I
And it
said
was
on the
sold
Daily
out.
Fix.
Oh, maybe so.
one of our listeners told me that she already ordered her stuff, so she didn't wait in line. So, sorry, Corey.
Well, no, I do know that Kathy Whirling, she was there too, because I think she heard something about Figment. And so she showed up, but she told me at our dinner that she had already seen all the merchandise of the 30th. Now, I don't know if they were releasing the I Was There before that, because we got a first look of that in the morning.
Yeah, the I Was There merchandise was only there starting on the day that it happened.
Gotcha.
But you had the chance to buy stuff with Epcot 35 on it ahead of time.
Gotcha.
But I Was There was exclusive to that.
Okay,
that
that's
day and
what
on.
that's what I was referring to. Sorry.
As it should be.
Yeah, because you were there.
Right,
were
exactly.
Yeah, there was they had the 10 o'clock ceremony where George Calagridas came out, the VP of Epcot, what's her name? I'm having a brain fart. Then characters come out and they shoot some little confetti.
Tourists.
And then you go about your day. But I think for me, I'm not into I wasn't really worried about the merchandise. I just enjoyed being there on the 35th and seeing everybody. There were so many people decked out in Epcot, whether they bought the shirt just then or they made their own shirts of all the classic Epcot look.
I think, unfortunately, a lot of that merchandise is for resale. I think a lot of those people who go crazy and wait in line and are the first ones in line, I think they're reselling it, unfortunately.
Well, when they're buying multiple
Yeah.
items.
But I agree with
multiple
Corey. I mean, you
things.
want to go just to be part of the celebration. Who cares what they're selling?
There was the one I Was There line, which was at Interventions, and the line extended all the way to the turnstiles. And even once you got to Interventions, you kind of snake through before you get to the little pop-up store.
Yeah, they butchered a lot of the merchandise. Like the big go-to item for the 35th was they put out a Funko Pop vinyl of Figment that said Epcot 35 on the logo. And initially in the morning, the buy limit on it was, just a small amount, 10 per person.
10, because you need 10, right?
And so the line quickly jumped to like a 3-hour wait all around ImageWorks. Just so, eventually it got to the point, people are saying, well, if I can buy 10, why not buy 10?
Yeah.
And a lot of people did. And so that meant a lot of people weren't able to get it. But I've been hearing conflicting reports. Some people, yesterday it was available on the Disney Parks Shop app that you could buy it in the morning. Other people say it's going to be back, just like they released an Orangebird one a couple weeks back. Same thing happened. Everyone bought a bunch,
Right.
and now you can just walk in the Magic
They're not
Kingdom and buy
limited.
it any day.
They're not limited. They'll make as many as they think they can sell for sure, and then they'll
All
wind
right.
up in the.
I'm on the shop.
discount places.
I'm on the Shop Disney Parks app right now, and I just ordered, and I was there.
I was online and ordered this shirt for the 35th anniversary.
That's
Just
Epcot.
ordered
They'll
it.
show up at the
They will. So tell us about the stuff that went on. I'm more excited to hear about the cool stuff that happened.
Yeah, I mean the morning ceremony I thought was a very beautiful tribute. They couldn't not bring up Marty Sklar. This Epcot was basically his baby after
bring him up as in talk about him.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sorry.
They just raised him from the
Okay, I just-
fountains.
Stop. Too soon.
They didn't run him around the fountain or anything.
He-
It's not like
They
weekend
in the
at Marty's.
Bernie's, yeah.
They mentioned his name.
Okay,
They mentioned
thank
Marty
you.
Sklar and talked about his importance with the park. They had a ceremony where they had a representative from every showcase and country come out, hold a big sign with their place on where they worked at, so they could do that, and then block all the audience who was stuck behind the signs, so then they couldn't see the stage, which was kind of goofy. They started off with a 5-minute performance from Mariachi Cobre, which I then learned a lot. Like I didn't
didn't know
realize
that
the
either.
history between Disney and the mariachi band. I could say it, but I don't know if anyone's interested.
I'm
I'm
curious because
interested.
it was a
Say it.
commercial. They were just in some promotion. I
You
just
write
saw.
it in a letter.
Yeah, so I'll write it to you later. I mean, long story short,
I'd prefer it written. Thank you.
Is there a short version of the story?
there is, and I will share it. The leader of mariachi band right now, he actually started back in the 60s at Disneyland when they had a mariachi band
Really?
at Disneyland. Yeah, before it formed into the group that it is today. And then they came over and they were originally playing at Pecos Bill and also the concourse of the Contemporary. And then once Epcot opened up, they were invited in to be the mariachi band in Mexico, and they've been here ever since. So their history with Disney goes back even further than just Epcot, which I thought was
Interesting.
pretty cool. And that's why they had them start the ceremony, and then the ceremony ended with a medley from the Voices of Liberty singing some of the different attraction songs that we all know and love from Epcot Center years. And there's a video of that on our YouTube channel, so you can see it there. But it was a nice little... It was better than the Magic Kingdom's 45th, where they let down a banner celebrating it on the Magic Kingdom, except the banner got stuck before it rolled all the way down.
Oh, no.
So it was better
Jurassic
than
Park.
that.
Special foods? What kind of special foods were they offering?
Oh, they had a cupcake. They had a
yeah.
couple cupcakes.
They had a Twistee Treat.
They made 100 cupcakes.
The
Oh,
cupcake
wow.
had like the Spaceship Earth dome on top.
Oh yeah, I saw a picture of that.
I ate it,
I had
yeah.
So
like
it was
Craig
a rounded
Oh, that was the
frosted
picture I saw.
cupcake.
I don't know. Craig said it was like
was
full
good.
of icing at the top. Right?
How much was it?
We had it as part of a dessert party, so
Probably
I don't.
$4.95 or $6.95.
Yeah, but
Just guessing.
it's a Disney cupcake. I wish they would stop releasing cupcakes for every single celebration. Get a little bit more creative with desserts.
Do you think
But-
people take them home and try to save them?
Try to sell them on eBay.
Right next to their wedding cake topper in the freezer. Yeah.
They did little things here and there, but the big thing was the celebration in the morning, and then for all park guests, that is, celebration in the morning, and then at night they added a 35th anniversary tag to the end of Illuminations. Think Christmas time or New Year's Eve, same exact style as that, and it was great. I didn't really. The music they played with it didn't really resonate with me, like this is celebrating Epcot's 35th anniversary, but it was still nice to end the celebration with a big bang. And then for people who were a part of the D23 Faniversary, they were treated to about 3 hours of just pure Epcot
History
geekiness.
overload.
Yeah, it was. I was in the room for that, and it was like your brain just starts melting.
After
so long.
Illuminations?
No, this was in the middle of the day.
Oh, man.
So, yeah.
2 a.m.
No, it was.
They'll give you a test.
Yeah, this was immediately after the ceremony.
It's like the worst TED Talk ever. So tell me, I'm sorry. Tell me more about that.
Say more.
Say more about that thing.
Say more about that. It was basically everything. There was a couple different panels. The most interesting one had like Tony Baxter and Jason Grant, and they went over 35 things you don't know about Epcot, and like that one.
Were they
was-
35 actual things you didn't know about Epcot, or was it?
It was probably.
This wasn't like the 17 things to be excited about next year. Oh, look, we have Blacktop.
I would say, there was probably people in the crowd who absolutely knew every single one of them. Like, I knew maybe half of them here and there just from other D23 presentations that I've heard in the past. So it wasn't all, but yeah, no, I was like tweeting basically most of them out as they were going along. Like, they dug up some really interesting stuff for that. And Corey's Rapid Fire about the meaning of Epcot that made the rounds on Twitter as a couple days before the event.
Original.
But then that was the final thing that they told us that we probably didn't know about Epcot, which I thought that was really fitting. They had a giant panel of cast members, ex-Disney or still a Disney legend, ex-Imagineers come up and talk about their time that they spent working at Epcot. Some of them, like they had Bill Sullivan, who's a Disney legend. Like Sully, he worked with Disney in the World's Fair doing operational operational procedures, worked for the Magic Kingdom's grand opening, and then also did Epcot. And so he was talking about just like how much of a nightmare in a zoo it was on the opening day, because they also filmed the live show with, I think Danny Kaye may have hosted
Danny
it.
Kaye.
Yeah. And so they shared a lot of those little cool stories from
I enjoyed
first
some
years.
of the pictures. You showed pictures of like someone working in Horizons.
Yeah.
Like the
Kind of
Horizons.
sleeping, taking a nap.
Yeah. It was cool to see sort of the.
Somebody tweeted a
unfinished
picture
area.
of the plexiglass sculpture that was in the fountain at the entrance to
Yeah.
Epcot. Did they talk about putting that back?
No, they're not going to put
They're
that back.
never gonna put that back.
That's not coming back.
That's
but
with Ellen DeGeneres'
Let me-
animatronic somewhere.
It's just something that, as you guys are talking, I'm thinking back 10 years, 25th anniversary. Disney didn't want to do anything to mark Epcot's 25th, and I wish I could remember the kid's name. There was a young guy,
He still does it.
that
yeah, Adam Roth.
Adam Roth.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but Adam Roth is the reason
I agree with you 1,000%.
that happened, that's going on. Because not because he was being mean, not because he was being a jerk or anything like that. This guy embarrassed Disney into doing this
He
when they
still
didn't
has-
do anything for the 25th.
He still has its WDW celebrations, and they do their own thing, and they have their own event where they get together.
Well,
He
shows
said-
how much I know.
He taught Disney they can sell T-shirts.
Right.
He really
we
did.
We went to the 25th, and I mean, I thought that, it's a fan doing it, so it's not as grand as D23, obviously.
That almost makes it better.
Yeah, but I agree that he embarrassed Disney into doing these celebrations of, it doesn't have to be 50 years.
Best, but it is the best example of fan passion.
Yeah.
And how it can change things. So, and that's all I could think about as you're talking about this, is thinking back to the 25th and how Disney did not want to do anything. And it wasn't until his thing started gaining traction that they hurried up for the 25th and put like a couple of
Cupcakes.
no, like some executives.
But it was the same. It was a much pared down version of this, and where it was, someone came out and talked about the dedication and, the
I will say
pouring of the water and all that stuff.
the ultimate way to celebrate Epcot's 35th was by being a part of the Faniversary. I mean, this is where you wanted to be for it. When, like, with the 45th of Magic Kingdom and Epcot's 35th, like the ceremonies and doing a little special things here and there, that's great and all, but this felt like they actually gave a ton of love to Epcot, and everyone was just so enthusiastic about it. They talked about all of the past attractions, World of Motion, Horizons, the original iterations of Spaceship Earth, and Universe of Energy. Like, they just went over it all, and
They also
their
had
enthusiasm was so great.
They also had a panel about past entertainment, correct?
Yeah.
Did they bring up the Christos? Do y'all remember the Christos? You'd walk in like right past the fountain, like the
they dressed
the
in silver and
yeah, the
like
little
acrobat-
blue, like
blue,
the
yeah,
acro
yeah.
gymnastics
Yep.
group.
They creeped me out to no end.
Yeah, I know, but I was so fascinated with it.
They did.
And like the bottom, no, she was the top. Like she'd take her thing off and like she had
Her
all this
thing?
hair all the way down past her.
They were wearing this like
Yeah.
unitards, and
Like
like
a
they
skull
had
cap.
like a
So,
skull
I
cap
love
over it,
that.
so it was like
Okay,
all
yeah.
one piece. And then she would take her skull cap off, and she had
all
like
this-
hair down to her.
If only it had been rose petals.
They didn't bring that up, but they did talk about.
was- they were cool.
That was
I
for
thought they were
Rhino.
awesome. Yeah,
Yeah, no, they
I was
talked
into
about
gymnastics.
the-
That's why I loved it.
Well, they talked about the aerial stunt show that used to happen, where they had like a tightrope walker that was attached to Spaceship Earth, and just
Okay,
it
that's
was
scary.
crazy. I
Wow,
didn't
I remember that.
Yeah,
You
they
really?
they
Wow.
did
You are
that.
old.
I didn't realize they had a Barbie show in Epcot at one point in time. But they
was it
did.
Epcot? I knew there was a
Yeah.
Barbie show.
1982.
I thought it was at
I
Hollywood
was there the
Studios.
opening year. It wasn't there for the opening.
But no,
I'm old.
Epcot had a lot of goofy entertainment over the years that did not really fit in with Epcot as a whole. But overall, the Faniversary was just, again, if you were a big Disney fan and you love these geeky little details and
What
stories, it's amazing.
Was the
already-
translation from Spaceship Earth? Somebody is asking.
Oh, I'll share that in a blog post later. I
Okay.
have it. I'm still working on that. But
We have people already writing to the reservations account looking to book hotel rooms and things for 2021 for the Magic Kingdom.
The Magic Kingdom's 50th. That's going to be crazy.
Here's the deal: you can't do it yet.
Right. Stop writing to us.
Write to us in 2020.
No, Kevin wants to keep a list.
No, no list. No list.
Kevin wants to keep a
Nice
list.
spreadsheet.
2020.
But he will only accept it via his Facebook page.
There you go.
Or mail.
Or you
Get a
can write
letter.
to Rhino.
Write to Rhino.
He likes
Right
letters.
to Rhino.
Guys, there's nothing wrong with getting a piece of mail
I
as
was
something
just
that's
kidding.
not a bail, all right? And a handwritten note it just says "I love you," and I might not be able to own a computer. I don't know.
Okay, first of all, the woman that just fell out of him. There were shoulders, there were jazz hands. I mean,
Calm down, Delta Burke. We all get it.
I will say this: I
no, it
did
was
write
Julia.
a letter.
It was Julia Sugarbaker.
and I was exhausted.
No, it wasn't strident enough for that.
Listen, talking about Epcot, I have a question.
Yes,
Y'all see that picture that's floating around where Epcot is misspelled on the sign?
Yeah.
Is that real or not?
As far as I know, it's real.
I thought that. I thought
How do they
I thought the
misspell
same
Epcot?
thing, but I figured.
Was it from this anniversary event that was spelled
No,
wrong?
No,
like
it was
a
on one of
a
the
street sign.
one of the like the traffic signs overhead
I
as
saw
you're
that
going on
too. I
property,
didn't-
and it was spelled EPOCT. I believe is how they
Yeah, epoch.
epoch.
I didn't know if that was fake or if that was
I thought the same thing. Like, is that Photoshop? But
right.
I don't know. I think it was real.
Because the letters are all there, so you just, but then when you look at it close, it's not correct.
So
Another great story.
that's gonna be a great dinner party.
Ryan got a letter. Twistee Treat is open.
They bought it.
People are going
brought
to
it by
talk.
Pony
Sort of like the
Express.
Truman Capote White Party.
You're gonna be upset when you're not invited to that party.
I probably will be.
So overall, you guys thought it was a good event.
Oh, I was just happy to be there, and no pun intended, because I really was. It was a long day. I mean, we got
Yeah, Craig came in yesterday looking like death warmed over.
like for me to get to Epcot, like I have to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, so I got there around 7:45.
All the people who work outside of their homes and have to commute all went,
Right.
oh,
But
poor
then we were
Cole.
like we were there
Actually get
from
up and
7:45
go
all the way until Illuminations ended. So that was a pretty full day. But I did enjoy the projections they did on Spaceship Earth as you walked out. It's always a fun surprise. It's always a
I saw
nice
pictures of
surprise.
those. Those were cool.
Yeah, no, it's a great event. So I think, just being there, it's one of those cool things. It's of all the stuff that I take for granted as being a local. One of the things that I don't is the appreciation every time something like this rolls around, where I'm lucky enough that I don't have to plan this big extravagant trip, that I can get in my car and drive over and be able to say that I was here on such an important day
Right.
for these parks that I love and care about. And, I've been at a lot, like Epcot's 15th, Animal Kingdom's 15th, Hollywood Studios 25th, Magic Kingdom's 45th, the 40th, now this one, Epcot's 30th. And this one, besides the pure insanity of Magic Kingdom's 40th, where just crowds gave away and all hell broke loose, this was like the most passionate I've seen people all together. Like everyone, it seemed like the majority of people were there that day to truly celebrate.
You're right.
Epcot.
Well, I mean,
Yep.
Epcot has, and justifiably so, because I'm one of them. But Epcot has a very passionate fan base.
Yeah.
I don't think it's I don't think it's a fan base that gets as much love or attention as maybe the folks that are all Magic Kingdom. But I absolutely adore Epcot. I adore Epcot, and I think it's time they did some stuff to it. But we had a dinner for my niece and nephew were in town, and it was Melanie's birthday, and we had dinner last week at Monsieur Paul. And I got to tell you, what a phenomenal meal! And just I can go around not all of them, but a lot of great restaurants over in World Showcase, a lot of great things to do, food and wine, just everything that goes on there.
Yeah, that's great.
Throughout the year, there's always something to do. There's always and sometimes it's just really fun. You guys coined once, it's our Central Park. It's where we can just go and hang out. And it's a relaxed atmosphere. It's a big park. It absorbs its crowds well. You don't feel really like you're on top of everybody.
That's exactly right.
And so I get why Epcot is popular. And I just think that, like I said, if not for the passion of a fan, I don't know they'd be doing this stuff. I don't know they'd be doing it because I think Disney overlooked Epcot to a certain degree.
Yeah, I would say that the one thing that remains true is that the fans do care, and all the cast members that we heard from, basically all of them are saying Epcot is their favorite park. Everyone loves Epcot, and it's a shame that it even had the potential to ever get overlooked. And I know Epcot's changing, and it's not going to look the same in 5 years from now as it does right at this moment, and it didn't look the same 5 years before that. But as long as the core heart of the park remains the same, I think it'll keep being a fan favorite, and hopefully they'll do bigger and better celebrations in the future, especially when the 40th rolls around. Should be pretty epic.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what's going to happen for the 50th of Magic Kingdom. That's going to be huge.
Big.
Not yet.
Just find them on Facebook, send them a private message.
At not
Go
Kevin.
to my Facebook page.
So, all right. Well, thank you guys for that. Thank you guys for joining us. That is going to do it for our show for this week. We will be back with you again next week with another edition of the Diz Unplugged. Thanks for being with us, everyone. And remember, Air Canada sucks, and stay out of the damn lakes.